Good Thursday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We got another Watchmen update. We got to talk about a lot of flights being canceled across the United States. We have a warning that we're going to be finding out 40 airports today that are going to be losing a whole bunch of flights. We're going to have China dropping their tariffs, so the tariff deals with China seem to be moving forward. We're going to talk about China cutting off the United States and the rest of the world from some critical minerals, and we got to talk about Japan deploying troops to go hunt for bears. That, and we got a whole lot more on today's update. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, something from your store that you're seeing, something from your workplace, or someone you've talked to who has information that should be useful to the Watchmen community, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment down in the comments down below. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into something safer. So if you want to get into physical precious metals, but you can't do it because you don't have enough cash on hand, or maybe you do, but you want to move some of your retirement funds or all of your retirement funds over into precious metals, Jonathan and his team at Genesis Gold Group can talk you through what it would look like, no obligation to move forward with them if you do reach out to them to talk with them. They'll just answer your questions. There will be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more, or you can always reach out to Genesis Gold Group. Right now, and for the last couple of years, they have been waiving the setup fees for this audience. So, like I said, the link will be at the end of the video. All right, the United States will begin canceling flights from Friday, tomorrow, if you're watching this on time. This is coming from the FAA head, Brian Bedford, as well as Transportation Secretary Duffy. This is a big deal. They're saying 10% of flights at 40 airports are going to be cut, are going to not be flying starting tomorrow. Huge. Why? Because they don't have enough air traffic controllers. TSA is also on the brink. These folks are not getting paid. They're not getting paid, and a whole bunch of them are just like, you know what? I haven't been paid for a month, over a month. I'm about sick and tired of that. You can imagine that that would be pretty tough to get your finances in order when you haven't been paid for over a month. As we close in on a month and a half, patience is wearing thin for a whole lot of these folks. Down in Houston, they had a whole big kerfluffle because the TSA people walked off. What do you do at that point? I mean, who's going to stop the person with nose hair clippers? I mean, who's going to stop the lady bringing a bottle of water on the airplane? I mean, if you don't have TSA agents, chaos ensues, right? I mean, TSA, for the first 15 years of their existence, I believe it was, had not prosecuted a single person for terrorism, which is pretty bad numbers. When you have, 100,000 plus people checking hundreds of millions of people, odds are that you just accidentally find a terrorist. But no, they didn't seem to do that. Every time they were tested, they failed miserably, and agents testing the TSA were able to get their smuggled stuff through with no problem. But I mean, why wouldn't they grope you after hitting you with all the radiation that causes cancer, right? I mean, anyway, I digress. I'm out of the reach of the TSA for a little bit. Anyway, China said on Wednesday that it would lift tariffs of up to 15% on some of U.S.'s agricultural products, including soybeans. They've made commitments that they're going to be making major purchases of soybeans, millions and millions of tons of soybeans. And that's by the end of this year. It's over 15 million tons by the end of this year. And they're going to purchase 40 million tons next year. It's kind of a lot, and good, because farmers have been having a whole bunch of soybeans sitting around waiting to be eaten by somebody or something. China uses a lot of soybeans to feed cattle, particularly. That's why beef is getting a little interesting these days. Anyway, China introduces new export controls, though, on antimony, as well as silver and tungsten. So precious metals, semi-precious metals, are getting restricted, just as the rare earth minerals are being removed from restrictions. So China is the manufacturing capital of the world right now, and the United States is the financial capital of the world and the political capital of the world, but China doesn't like that so much. So they are getting even every time that they can. All right, Japan has deployed troops to the north of the country on November 5th, that is on Wednesday, to help control bears. That's right. After local authorities said that they were struggling to cope with an unprecedented wave of attacks, over 100 bear attacks, and since everyone in the country is disarmed, what do? Even the local police with their little clubs, Japanese police officers with clubs going after bears, just not working so well. So Japan's having to deploy their military. Now, if you're China and you're watching the Japanese struggle to repel several bears from a province and having to deploy their military in order to do this, I don't know if that's projecting weakness, but it certainly sounds like projecting weakness, doesn't it? All right, independent news media says this, Watchmen, London update. It should be noted that the UK government is trying to reduce citizens from peaceful protest. How are they doing this? By proposing a new law that if you attend 2 or more different protests, such as protests about freedom of speech or other protests about, others coming into the country, the government is going to label you a nuisance to the nation and potentially arrest you. The proof will come from facial recognition vans that are going to scan everybody at protests. And if that doesn't sound dystopian enough for you, they're going to record all of the protests in London. So best not protest there in London-stan. These vans were on trial already. They've already tested them. They're all ready to go. So keep on prepping, and God bless. This is from independent news media. Yeah, friends, England is like, they read the book 1984 and were like, that's a cool idea, let's do that. And that's exactly what has happened. They have just followed 1984 and all the other dystopian novels as some sort of playbook on how to organize their country. We have the Bill of Rights. They have dystopian novels on how things should be run. It's crazy. Mark says the government shutdown and SNAP benefits certainly has had an effect at my local Sam's Club in East Springfield, Missouri. It's as an indication here. Stopped yesterday afternoon, many handicap parking spaces are available. Normally you have to fight to get one. Store traffic was at least 30 to 40% less than normal. There was no security at the store or parking lot, but the food stamp people, not there at all. And that's, now, like we said, I mean, there's good Americans that are trying and struggling to get by. They worked hard, they invested, and they just drew a bad card. Lots of people got injured at work and they're on disability. Lots of people have put in their years of service and are retired now, and they're on food stamps because the market went south one time or whatever. A lot of good Americans, but there's also a large number of people that should not be getting those benefits that are getting the benefits 2, 3, 4 times over. Even the base benefits for people from other countries is 40% higher than people who lived and worked here in the United States. All right, Rose says, I went to Food City in Gatlinburg, Tennessee area, and a middle-aged worker in management said that we are going to have food shortages due to food stamp cuts and delivery. That's what I was told. Are you seeing the store shelves less full than before? Let us know down in the comments down below. Are you seeing things that look different? This is the moment where the Watchmen community can really do something that nobody else on the internet can do. No news agencies can do what we can do, and no other YouTube channels can do what we can do. We are used to sending in reports from all over the country to a central reporting mechanism. So let us know what you guys are seeing. Obviously, your names are always redacted, so if you have a last name on your thing, I always remove your last name. That's what we do here. If you need to email me directly, that's not as reliable, but poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. You can send in your update there. If you need to be more anonymous, just say you need to be anonymous. You can always just say in your comment that you want me to withhold your name too. That's always possible too. Anyway, Gene says, Southern Middle Tennessee, the Dollar Tree was loaded with Christmas items, but spotty on the personal care aisles. Dog treats were spotty. I bought bleach before the bottles get smaller. Some toilet paper is out of stock. I got a food box from Good Samaritan and plan on getting another one. I expect more people there before Thanksgiving. A locally owned grocery was the same as always. Not a place most people here go, though. It is the only real butcher in town. Food Lion looked okay for now. At Walmart, they do have fewer of the cheap items I got a year ago, and clearance prices are higher. Greg says, I needed to go to Walmart and did so before 7 a.m. this morning at Panama City Beach. Things were understocked, and the prices, especially on produce, had gone up. Obviously, I mean, when do the prices ever go down, right? Florida gold potatoes were over $1 a pound, and I refused to pay 94 cents for 2 green onions or scallions bound with rubber bands. The smallest ones, hardly bigger than chives, were 3 in a bundle. Yikes, prices are just going up like crazy, isn't it? DDS says, Southwest Arkansas, skies full of X's yesterday. Now, I got a whole bunch of reports from you guys. I'm already reading this one, but I got a bunch of these from you. A whole bunch of you guys saying that suddenly activity up in the sky has picked up. DDS says, first time in a while that I've seen them. Store aisles at our local Walmart are so wide, 3 buggies can now pass easily. Sorry, but I'm not fooled. What they're referring to, of course, is that there's more walking space, but there's less food on the shelves. There's less product on the shelves, less options, and just more space for you to plow your buggy around. Ran61 says, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So we went to our normal Monday shopping at a local Walmart and casually asked the door greeter if they had any SNAP looters. They're the kind of people that you can ask and they might just tell you. She said that they had quite a few over the weekend, with a couple getting stopped trying to push $800 worth of food out the front door. Yikes. So a whole bunch of looting. Come on. This is calm, mild South Dakota. I can't even imagine what's happening in Chicago and all these other places. Now, they're trying to make it seem like things are calm and things are normal, but when you dig beneath the surface and you ask the people working there, you might hear a very different story. But hey, you're watching people walk out with carts of $400 worth of groceries, not paying for them, and that's becoming the normal now. Kenneth says, at Walmart in Memphis, I noticed most of the self-checkout registers that were once opened are now closed. Yeah, Walmarts and Aldis have decided that self-checkouts are a stupid idea because Americans have no morals. Now, we're not talking about you or I, but we're talking about, you know, the vast majority of people out there, or at least a significant enough minority that it ruins it for the rest of us. Now, a whole bunch of you guys absolutely hate self-checkouts. I, for one, love self-checkouts because I hate waiting in line. I'm like, I can scan my items and bag them all a whole lot faster than you can, so just let me leave. I hate waiting in line for somebody to scan super slow. Some of us have been to Aldi, and if you've been to Aldi, you've seen how fast it can go, and then you go to a Walmart and you just say like, please go faster. Please go faster. Right? Anyway, so self-checkouts, I like them, but anyway, they're gone. They're gone. There was many unscanned items going out the door. There was too many. With only 2 workers trying to watch over a dozen registers, if one worker has to help a customer, it is easy for steaks and other high-priced items to walk out the door. We are paying for the updates. We paid for the updates, and now they're closed. So we had to pay more for our stuff in order to have the self-checkouts installed, and now they're not being used. Eyes Wider says, I've been looking at ways to naturally fertilize my garden. You can use leaves. The fruit trees directly drop leaves, and other trees leave them. You can shred them up, and the leaves are actually very nutritious for a lot of your plants. Feed the garden and feed your trees, right? I know everyone's there like, you should rake them up, bag them up, and then send them to a landfill. No, friends, doing it the natural way is a much better way. Just a Gardener says, we did some nerdy homestead math and found that the 80% lean ground beef was a better price than the 90% lean ground beef, even considering the extra fat. So you take the extra fat out, and you're still getting more lean meat per dollar when you get the 80% lean. And that kind of usually is the way it is. So if you didn't know that, now you know it. It's not only cheaper per pound, but cheaper per meat pound. So you can fry up the beef, and then you can drain the grease or the beef fat, right? And you can put that aside. You can freeze it. Charles says, this is more of a warning for anyone that buys gallon jugs of water, spring or distilled, in either name brand or store brand, the jugs, right? Regardless of brand, 1 in 5 develops leaks on the seams near the top or along the bottom. They slowly leak, some not so slowly. I had quite a few new jugs leaking, making a mess. Thankfully, only some boxes got wet and didn't ruin anything in the prep lockers in the basement. So check your water jugs regularly and keep them away from other important items. This also goes if you're getting milk jugs. They're basically the same thing. I think the water jugs might be a little bit less stable, but the milk jugs are kind of pretty similar usually. So just be aware, water jugs, milk jugs, they do burst, they do leak. 2-liter bottles of water generally are much more stable, but you really do need a whole bunch of them. A 2-liter bottle is about 1/2 gallon. So if you need drinking water stockpiled, you need a whole bunch of bottles. Of course, if you drink diet sodas like I used to, that might be able to be done, right? Anyway, let me know what you guys have update-wise. If you have any conversations with the greeters at your Walmart, or check out people at your Walmarts or other stores and ask them about looting. Have they seen it? Let us know, and we can keep ahead of what's going down. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.